Hi there, welcome back. I went out to all of my local Walmarts in town. Most interestingly, of the 6 Walmarts I went to, only 2 of them had stablemates, and only 1 of them had a chaser. So I thought I'd buy a couple and help you guys find your chaser at your local store. This is Horse Crazy Surprise Series 2. Make sure you see that button on the front of them. I found a couple of Series 1 horses that they had put a sticker over this, so it actually was showing the Series 2 number, so you can no longer find the correct series by number because they'll have a different sticker on them. So this time we have 6 horses to pick from. The silhouette is correct. The Icelandic horse is your chaser. And of the other horses, I bought these 3 because they were kind of the most similar. These 2 are going to be very easy to find because they are standing, so their legs are going to be very straight. He is going to have the long tail, and this guy's going to have a little short bobtail, so these guys are pretty easy to determine. This one was also pretty easy because all of his legs were straight, even though he's kind of in an action pose like these. He's definitely very straight. He has a very long tail. He was pretty easy to feel in the package. These 3 are the 3 that are kind of the closest, but each one has a little something to differentiate it from the others. So let's see what we have. So again, I always do these so that I can see the silhouette of the pictures of the horses in the back. And as I squish them, I find the body, I find the head, I find the tail, and I find the legs. So now I go, okay, what is kind of the determinant of these horses? This guy has a flying tail and a flying mane. This guy has a very straight mane and a very straight tail. This guy is kind of fuzzy mane, kind of like him, but kind of a down tail like this one. So what am I going to feel for first? I find his head. He's got some wild ears. You can feel each one of his ears. And he's got a wild mane, so I'm thinking it's going to be this guy. His tail is also flagged straight out and not coming down. And then just to be sure, I come down to the legs. Be careful when you feel the legs because these are cheaper styrene plastic, so they do break more easily. His legs, his front legs, are straight or slightly curved. This is definitely a very steeply curved leg. So since he has a flagged mane and tail and kind of curved legs, I think this is going to be our endurance buckskin horse up here. So let's see what we got. It is indeed that endurance horse. So you can see his ears are kind of sticking out from his head. Flying mane and tail. The tail is way up high. His legs are definitely spraddled, but kind of what gets you up for this horse is that really flying tail. So that was our first one. This second one, again, I find the body, I find the head, and I find the tail. So his tail is coming down, and then I find the legs. So his tail is coming down. It is not flagged like this guy. So both of these guys have tails that come down. So in this case, I'm going to feel, once I feel that tail's down, I'm going to feel the mane. The mane is very flat and very close to the body. So I think it's going to be this one, but let's use those legs to help us determine. In this case, it's fairly similar. The back legs are apart from each other, and that back leg and tail are fairly close, just like the back end of this horse. But when I feel the front end, his front leg, it's his left leg, and I think it's his right leg, but we'll find out. But that front leg is more of a gentle curve. This guy's is way out in front of him. So in this case, since we have kind of the flatter tail and the flatter mane, this is going to be this loping horse here. And indeed it is. So you can see both of these guys are in action poses. This guy has a much different mane and tail from this guy, but their legs are actually fairly similar. So the determinant for these is going to be the mane and the tail. So this guy, hopefully, will be my fjord. I find his body, I find his head. His head is over here, and he's got a very flying mane like this guy. But when I feel his tail, interesting. I've never seen this mold in person. The end of his tail curves very strongly. And so it's much longer than this guy. It feels more up than it looks in the picture. It feels a lot more like that tail in the package. Like I said, I've never seen this guy in person. The back two legs are very close to this tail, which is similar to this guy. But when I come up front, this leg is bent very steeply. So interesting, he has the flying mane, and he has a very curved front leg. I think that one, and this curvy tail is really obvious. I'll show you when I get him out of the package, but I think this is going to be the fjord. It is indeed the fjord. So so this is what I mean. You can feel that bent in that back end of that tail. When you feel it, that's very obvious. It is completely different from either of these guys, and this guy's tail is pretty straight too. So when you get that fuzzy mane, I think this is going to be the easiest way to determine who this guy is. And then, like I said, just to confirm, because when you're feeling these horses in packages, they all kind of start to feel the same. Feel for this raised front leg. See, it's much more steeply curved than the rest of them. So go out there and try and find yourself some more mystery horses. Hopefully your Walmart has more stablemates than mine did, but at least I did get one of the chasers. So good luck, and get out there and find some horses.